Why is it a duck?
Shut up! I didn't even order that one, alright? I asked for Chappie the rabbit.
Hello everyone, it's Birbies here, and I rant about weird stuff that no one on the internet is brave enough to talk about. In this little mini-series so far, I've started small with an author who's deteriorating in real time, and a Godfather the game that is losing morale due to years of hiding AI in plain sight. By Birbies, to start off the new year, it's time to explain, in a reasonable and condensed manner, the infamous RidiculousCake. Now, RidiculousCake, or Cake as I will be calling him throughout this video, is a well-known inflation artist and animator that has gained notoriety around 2017 that involves characters from hit children's shows like My Little Pony and Gravity Falls. Famously posting these contents onto YouTube under the secret Gooba Man 12345 alias before multiple different adpocalypses and guideline changes, Cake has regulated more safe for work content on YouTube while continuing every other content that is NSFW related on platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, DeviantArt, and Patreon. Cake's history in the inflation community can really be summed up with these three main points, starting with as stated earlier, Cake has made art pieces and animations of characters from shows like My Little Pony and Gravity Falls. However, that is what leads us to one of our main issues people have with Cake, is that their content revolves around characters who are children or perceived as children within their relative show. Characters that have been turned into the big and round include Wendy from Gravity Falls, Asuka from Evangelion, Chris and Susie from Deltarune, Star Butterfly from Star Versus, Misty from Pokemon, and many more, but you kind of get the gist already. Now my little Birbies, this video isn't going to go into the aged up debate that has stood the test of time since the creation of fetishes. However, you can make the case that it's different for Cake's content because despite in their bio saying that every character is aged up, the artwork is still very childish in nature and has that very much uncanny feeling, so it really makes it seem like you're making these characters, who are usually minors or minor coded, be put into these sexual imageries and fantasies. And especially since this content was originally uploaded to YouTube around 2017, you could basically say that any kid during that time period could have watched any of Cake's videos and gained this fetish because of it. And I hope it's not one of you, my precious Birbies, because I'd be disappointed. Oh, and don't forget about the Violet Reanimated project, which honored the passing of Denise Nickerson, the original Violet actor from the 1971 movie, by recreating the fetish scene that caused a lot of people to be interested in this community. Why was that even needed? My precious Birbies, do you remember 2020? The year of social isolation and but for Cake, 2020 was probably the worst year for him, image-wise. Starting out in March of 2020, as we shut down the world for almost 2.5 years, that it would be a fabulous idea, a great idea to, make a sexualized version of Corona. Yeah, Cake did that. Not only calling it Corona-chan, but also making this tweet right here. Yeah, not a good look. Oh, and did I forget as well that they made a sexualized version of Hurricane Dorian? The hurricane that killed a lot of people in 2019, and then brought it back into an animation 2 years later in 2021.
You what?
A storm.
Alongside the previous unhinged things that I've said, Cake also thought it would be a great idea to talk about the current demolishing of the George Washington statues during the height of the 2020 BLM riots.
I made a comment about the BLM protests and how I disapproved of tearing down statues of like George Washington, and I stand by that because the optics of that were terrible. I don't think anyone with their head on straight would go back in time and suggest to the organizers of Black Lives Matter to tear down more statues of the founding fathers. Like, that was just a really bad move. And yeah, ever since then, every few weeks, every month, somebody will just try and start shit again using this post, and it's just really irritating because I don't know anybody who starts shit on Twitter or starts drama and gets involved in that stuff. I'm just a really laid back person, and I'm tired of constantly defending my reputation for the sake of people that just never liked me to begin in the first place.
Oh my god, my brother in Christ, we do not need to hear your political thoughts in the big 2020. I came here on your fetish-based account. I came here to see Blueberry Russian Wonka slapping her master. Sorry, I got a little carried away with that, but as you can see, Cake has just made and said some really insensitive and just plain, I don't want to hear all that nonsense, in the worst time to be alive essentially during the pandemic. Unlike those last two things, this final point I'm going to show to you is the main thing haunting Cake's career and why every detractor uses it, and for good reason might I add, on why they want him gone.
Hey! Hey! I didn't give a shit! Look at this! Look at this! Get down the fucking camera, look at this! You remember that?
For once, they got him. The real juicy tea that everyone either knows, doesn't, or copes in order to not believe that their precious artist isn't a freak. This infamous screenshot is from Cake's deleted Tumblr page from around 2014 when he was 18, which Cake has made a response to this photo all the way back in July of 2023. So I'm gonna let 2023 Cake take over this one.
I've been seeing people share this post around again. It's from 2014, I think 9 years ago now, back when I was 18. And the TLDR version of it is that me and some friends went out on Halloween and goofed around, and I came home and exaggerated the events of that evening for comedic effect, to try and be funny, try and be edgy, in a very self-deprecating way. I did not actually somehow convince my two black female normie friends to stalk a child on Halloween night for like 15 minutes. That didn't happen. I mean, could you imagine the conversation that would need to happen for that to occur? It just didn't happen. I was just trying to be funny in the same way that if you and some teenage friends went to a restaurant and on your way out you grabbed like a handful of mints, you might say that you stole from the restaurant just to be like a funny dipshit teenager.
What?
No, all right. I know that sounds bad.
I don't even know what to say. How do you even think that's funny? Edgy humor or not, you still made the drawing. But he said it never happened. Doesn't that mean he's innocent from what he did in the drawings? Even if he's innocent, why go through all that to essentially imply that you were so gooned out of your brain that you imagined yourself stalking a child, then putting it to pen and paper? How does that even conjure in your mind to do that? And I wonder, Cake, are you even happy that you're infamously known as the child stalker for the rest of your career on the internet? Did that satisfy your Wonka-filled pants? And to everyone who still copes for Cake, do you realize that you want to be known as the person that still supports the implied child stalker fantasizer? What, because you can goon to Isabelle from Animal Crossing because your favorite artist made it look good? Ridiculous. No pun intended. But yeah, those were my 3 pointers going into RidiculousCake and why it's baffling that this artist is still around making content. Due to their insensitive comments and use of platform to promote perverted fantasies for all the wrong reasons. What keeps them from essentially taking any accountability is that no one has really been able to document this freak. People had to previously vague tweet to their sub 100 followers to spread this awareness. But seeing how my Kip and Povey video did, I know that I am the person to get this information out there for people to finally realize that this person is a freak. And that will be all for the video here today, my Birbies. Now tell me, which other artists do you want me to talk about next? Based on the views, you guys yearn for this slop. So I'll continue as long as you still show me support. And you better press P to promise. I'm trying to make a living here. But yeah, let me know in the comments who do you want me to talk about next, and I'll maybe do it, we'll see. But I've been Iberbuki, signing off.